This is me, day 1 after reading Blood Meridian. Day 2 after reading Blood Meridian. Day 3 after reading Blood Meridian.
He never sleeps. War is God.
Then I realize what it is. There's a man in back of this place.
Oh, what it was just me and you. Whoa, boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. Boom, 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 boom.
Pahliad, nia zustil kühtil, struhun hodread, pahliad, nia zustil kühtil, struhun hodread, pahliad, nia zustil kühtil, struhun hodread, pahliad, nia zustil kühtil, struhun hodread,
I know it. お前好きなの野菜ジュース。私が決めた。今決めた。長年私の野菜ジュース。I'll reboot as soon as I am able. Every other day I'm wondering. What's a human being gotta be like?
Grinning hideously over their canted pieces. Towering over them all is the judge. He never sleeps. He says that he will never die. He dances in light and in shadow, and he is a great favorite. He is dancing, dancing. He says that he will never die. And they are dancing. The board floors slamming under the jackboots, and the fiddlers grinning hideously over their canted pieces. Towering over them all is the judge, and he is naked, dancing, his small feet lively and quick, and now in double time, and bowing to the ladies, huge and pale and hairless, like an enormous infant. He never sleeps, he says. He says he'll never die.
Judge from the book Blood Meridian is the most terrifying villain ever written. He's a 7-foot-tall figure who never sleeps, as he is like a fox and not a hair to his body. He weighs 24 stone, giving him a similar profile to Olivia Richter's, a 7'2" bodybuilder who weighs 23.6 stone. But the judge is silent and serene, even in violence. He kills a man by squeezing his head, saves his own gang of mercenaries by making gunpowder from their urine, and in the book's 1849 setting, negotiates with all hostiles in their native language. The judge botanizes plants, devours children, and regularly says he will never die. But what makes him most terrifying is that he was also, as you'll see, a real man. This whole video could simply tell stories of the judge's deranged exploits, and it will in an attempt to answer a question: who or what is the judge? Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy follows a nameless drifter called the Kid. The Kid, in his idleness, joins the Glanton Gang, killers hired by Mexican and American authorities to scalp Native Americans in 1849. The men plunder and pillage, but for all their degeneracy, none come close to the judge. We first meet the judge in a church tent. He's an albino, bald as a stone, with no brows to his eyes. And as his first action of the story, he exposes the preaching reverend. He is not only totally illiterate, the judge claims, but also wanted by the law. The most recent charge involving a girl of 11 years, who had come to him in trust. This arouses such revulsion that a churchgoer takes up arms and fires. The reverend dies, havoc ensues, and the judge goes to a bar. A drinker asks the judge how he came upon the reverend to know all that stuff on him. "I never laid eyes on the man before today," the judge says. "Never even heard of him." The men laugh, and someone buys the judge a drink. Throughout the story, the judge has an alarming command of people, but he also commands the earth. In one scene, when the Glanton gang is being hunted by Apaches, the judge leads them up a mountain. It seems the gang has cornered itself, until at the top, the judge starts digging. He makes gunpowder out of nitro and the sulfur of brimstone and the men's own piss, and it dries just in time for them to shoot the bewildered Apaches, who thought their prey was disarmed. This move by the judge is inspired by Satan from Paradise Lost, who creates a cannon and gunpowder from rocks. Just like Satan, the judge's greatest tool is his knowledge. He commits things to memory, then eradicates them. One night, he finds a footpiece from a suit of armor which is 3 centuries old. First, the judge sketches it, then he crushes it into a ball of foil and pitches it into the fire. And after that, just sits, content, seeming much satisfied with the world, as if his counsel had been sought at its creation. This is what the judge does. He learns and destroys, and this MO applies to living things as well as objects. In one scene, the judge buys puppies off a boy. He inspects them, then tosses them into a river to be shot. And more than anything, the judge hates birds, because birds can't easily be captured. "The freedom of birds is an insult to me," he says. "Whatever exists, whatever in creation exists without my knowledge, exists without my consent, including children." One morning, after the judge is spotted yelling at lightning in the previous night's storm, a boy is found dead, lying face down naked amid old bones. And in another instance, the judge offers little candy death's heads to children, and a page later, a little girl is missing. A third young girl disappears after she coincides with the judge in a music hall. And then there are the implications of human experiments. Soon after the Glanton gang commandeers a village, the judge is found in his quarters naked. With him, also naked, is his disabled human pet, known as the Idiot. And the Idiot is beside what looks like a girl of perhaps 12, cowering in the floor. Of the judge's many victims, the most tragic is the story's main character. The kid, who by the end is 45 years old, encounters the judge in a bar. "This night thy soul may be required of thee," the judge warns him, and it is. When the kid goes to the outhouse toilet, the judge is waiting for him, seated upon the closet, naked. The judge rises up smiling, gathers the kid in his arms against his immense and terrible flesh, shoots the bar latch home. And that is the end of the kid.
And pressed his hands together, and passed them down over his nose and mouth, and placed them palm down on his knees. "Whatever exists," he said, "whatever in creation exists without my knowledge, exists without my consent." He looked about at the dark forest in which they were bivouacked. He nodded toward the specimens he'd collected. "These anonymous creatures," he said, "may seem little or nothing in the world, yet the smallest crumb can devour us. Any smallest thing beneath yon rock out of men's knowing." It makes no difference what men think of war. War endures. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for him. the ultimate trade awaiting its ultimate practitioner. This is the nature of war, whose stake is at once the gain and the authority and the justification. Seen so, war is the truest form of divination. It is the testing of one's will and the will of another within that larger will. War is the ultimate game, because war is at last a forcing of the unity of existence. War is God.